Good afternoon. My name is Mark Smith, and it is my honor to serve as the member for the Legislative Assembly for Drayton Valley, Devon. And I'd like to thank everyone for joining us in person and virtually and on a typical false spring day here in Devon and in Alberta. Joining virtually on behalf of Federal Minister of Infrastructure and Communities is the Honourable, Infrastructure and Communities, the Honourable Catherine McKenna, is the Honourable Larry Bagnell. And Mr. Bagnell is the Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister, Economic Development and Official Languages and MP for the Yukon. I'd also like to thank, I don't see him here right now, but Mike Lake is supposed to be visiting us here today, and he's the Member of Parliament for Edmonton-Wetaskiwin. And as well with us today in person are Alberta's Minister of Transportation and Municipal Affairs, the Honourable Rick McIver, and His Worship, the Town of Devon's Mayor, Ray Ralph. And finally, we have Councillor Adams and Councillor May and Councillor Coral here with us for this announcement as well. Very soon we'll be hearing from each of our esteemed colleagues about developments to protect the lives and the livelihoods of Devon and area residents. Highway 19 is a critical piece of infrastructure for the Devon constituent, Drayton Valley Devon constituency, and residents take it twice a day to get to work in Leduc or in Edmonton and then home again at night. Heavy industry is also a major user of Highway 19 as part of Alberta's transportation network. Trucks carrying parts for manufactured goods or finished products themselves, freight or machinery related to oil and gas are a frequent sight on Highway 19, especially as they turn onto Highway 60 or vice versa. And at the same time, I've heard there's no shortage of concern from residents about the safety and the traffic on Highway 19. A few years ago, we were happy to see a plan come together to twin Highway 19 between Highway 60 and the Queen Elizabeth II Highway. And in 2019, the first step of that plan came to fruition with the twinning of Highway 19 from the QE2 to Range Road 253. So this afternoon, I hope we can hear more about the next steps of that plan. And it is now my honor to introduce the Parliamentary Secretary to the Federal Minister of Economic Development and Official Languages, the Honourable Larry Bagnell. Mr. Bagnell.
Hi, everyone, and thank you, MLA Smith, for that great introduction to the project. And also thank you to the organizers for letting me be here today, and to the great AV people that you've hired to make this happen. So I'm joining you from my home in the traditional territory, the Kwanlin First Nation and the Ta'an-Quachin Council. And I'm very excited to be here to celebrate this groundbreaking event, along with the Honourable Rick McIver and His Worship Mayor Ralph. It's important during these challenging times that all artists of government come together to support Canadian communities. Since the beginning of the pandemic, we've worked together to protect individuals and communities and support businesses and local economies. It's been our #1 goal. As we now look to post-pandemic recovery, we need to make smart investments that communities and the economy as a whole can recover and also become more resilient in the long term. Investments in critical infrastructure like roads and highways improve the safety, the efficiency, create good jobs, support travel and trade, and strengthen our communities. Today we gather to celebrate the groundbreaking for a new phase of work on Highway 19 south of Edmonton, as MLA Smith mentioned. The Government of Canada recognizes the great importance of this highway south of Edmonton. It is a key road to connect several communities and also leads to the Edmonton International Airport. In fact, just last month, the federal government announced an investment to upgrade infrastructure at the Edmonton International Airport to expand the region's capacity to handle inbound and outbound trade and transportation. So it's fitting today that Canada and Alberta are enabling improvements to Highway 19 as a key road leading to and from this airport. The importance of this highway and the safety of Albertans and commuters are why we are here today. This section of Highway 19 is a priority transportation corridor, which is why the Government of Canada is committing $27.7 million to expand another section of the road. That includes expanding 3.5 kilometers segment of highway from 2 to 4 lanes, adding new traffic lights, and widening a portion of the Highway 60, which I imagine the mayor appreciates. As a result, Albertans will have access to safer roads, reduced traffic congestion, and delays. Furthermore, the project supports local trade and service by providing better ways of getting around, notably to and from the airport, as mentioned earlier. But the support doesn't stop there. We've also contributing $45.3 million to improve Highway 15 north of Edmonton by twinning approximately 8 kilometers of the highway and building a new bridge over the North Saskatchewan River. That is $73 million that the Government of Canada is investing for important roads near the city of Edmonton. We are proud to be a partner in these important road improvements, supporting sound management of essential infrastructure and improving the day-to-day quality of life and safety of local residents and travelers. The pandemic has heightened our awareness of what it means to be part of a community, how crucial it is to be able to count on each other, to look out for one another, and see every day that our community is what we choose to make of it together. Health and safety remains our top priority. So more than ever, the federal government remains committed to investing in essential infrastructure that will support and strengthen our economy and the communities across Canada. Putting tax dollars to work in better transportation, efficient buildings, and clean water, for example, creates good jobs, stabilizes the economy, and helps us build back better. Congratulations to all concerned. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you, MP Bagnell. And now I'd like to introduce Minister McIver to the podium.
Good afternoon. Welcome. And thank you, MLA Smith, and thank you for the remarks, Parliamentary Secretary Bagnell. And also great to have you here with us, Mayor Ralph, for hosting us today, you and your members of Council. My job as Minister of Transportation is to make sure that every Albertan gets home safely every day. And unfortunately, there have been some days when those driving on Highway 19 haven't been able to do that. In the last 5 years, there has been 223 collisions on Highway 19, and that includes the tragic loss of 2 Albertans in December of 2018. And I think we can all agree that's 223 collisions too many, and 2 lives lost too many. We need to make improvements. Devon is a fast-growing community. Many commuters take Highway 19 to get to Edmonton and back every day, and this highway is a key high-load corridor, which is a big contributor to the provincial transportation network. And as our communities and our economy grows, traffic will only increase. That's why I'm very happy to announce that the next phase of twinning Highway 19 will begin in just the next few weeks. The first phase of twinning, the east section, improved about 2 kilometers of Highway 19 between the QE2 and Range Road 253. That work was completed in September 2019. Phase 2 of twinning, the west section, includes 3.5 kilometers from Highway 60 to Range Road 261, including grade widening on Highway 60 and multiple intersection improvements. We expect to have this phase of the project complete by October 2022. That's next fall. In the meantime, we are continuing to finish the preliminary work on the final section of Highway 19 between Range Roads 261 and 253. Detailed design, utility relocation, land acquisition, and environmental permitting is underway for the final phase of this important link. Twinning Highway 19 will greatly improve safety. Separating the eastbound and the westbound lanes will reduce the chances of head-on collisions and protect the lives of every person who uses this road. Twinning will also create more room for industrial and commercial traffic and increase capacity to move oversized loads along critical, vital commercial corridor. Today is another great example of different levels of government working together to get the job done for Albertans. I want to thank our federal and our municipal partners for stepping up. Alberta's government is providing nearly $49 million of the estimated $79 million cost of this phase, with the federal government, as we heard said, committing $27.7 million, and the town of Devon committing $2.2 million. And thank you to the federal government, and thank you to the town. To our representatives from the federal government, it's great to have you here today to celebrate together what we've done together. I also want to thank our MLA for Drayton Valley, Devon, Mark Smith, who has been and will continue to be a tireless advocate for the residents of his riding. You might say he's a bit of a stone in my shoe because he never lets me forget what the people of this area want. Phase 2 of the twinning of Highway 19 is just one example of the investment Alberta's government is making in Budget 2021. This is a budget focused on protecting lives and livelihoods. In total, Budget 2021 invests nearly $21 billion in Alberta's 3-year capital plan to build needed infrastructure and to support 90,000 jobs right now when they are most needed. When it comes to our highways, our priority is to fix potholes and upgrade the network. Investing in maintenance and rehabilitation extends the lifespan of the network, which in turn reduces the need for costly repairs in the future. A well-maintained, safe, and reliable transportation network is the backbone of any economic recovery, and it's something that potential investors considering when they decide to bring their business here. This year, we are rehabilitating the deck on the Highway 60 North Saskatchewan River Bridge just to the north of us. We're also busy doing preliminary work to twin Highway 60 through the Atchison Industrial Park, including building an overpass over the CNR tracks, realigning the Highway 16A overpass, and twinning the remaining segment of the highway. These are all vital links to major pieces of Alberta's transportation network, from the high-load highway corridors to the CNR intermodal facility to the Edmonton International Airport, right close to where we are today, which has become and will continue to be a very important cargo hub now and into the future. All in all, these upgrades will make Alberta's highway system even more efficient once it's completed, but just as importantly, that the highway system will be safer as we get one step closer to twinning Highway 19. Once again, to Mayor Ralph, to you and your council, thank you for hosting us. And to Parliamentary Secretary Bagnall, I thank you for joining us. I look forward to meeting again about 3 kilometers to the east of us, and hopefully in better weather as we kick off construction of the final phase of this project, because I know everybody living around here is really looking forward to that. At this point, it is my absolute pleasure to invite to the microphone Mayor Ralph.
Thank you, Minister McIver, MLA Smith, and MP Bagnall for joining us here today for this great announcement. Twinning Highway 19 has been a priority for us here in Devon since before I served on council in 2007. So I think it's safe to say that we are ecstatic to be here today with our partners to announce the construction will begin on the Devon end of the highway this spring, Highway 19 this spring. First, I would like to give special thanks to you, Minister McIver, for all the previous work you've done on this file as Minister of Transportation in 2013, and to you, MLA Smith, for your continued advocacy and support for Devon. We are a commuter community here in Devon, and with us bordering Highway 19, many of our residents use it to commute on a daily basis. The safety of our residents has always been our #1 concern through our advocacy efforts and we will continue to do whatever we can as council to support the development of the final phase of this project. Many of us have had to commute on Highway 19 on a regular basis and know firsthand how dangerous this highway can be, especially when during poor weather. We have seen Highway 19 in the news far too many times over the years for the wrong reasons, and we have lost too many lives on this busy road. One of the Alberta government's major themes is protecting the lives and livelihood of Albertans, and I truly believe that 20 Highway 19 will achieve this. While saving lives is all of our top priority, this project also opens the door to new opportunities for Devon as we continue working hard to grow our community. Including our portion of the Twinning project, we have invested over $7.5 million into local infrastructure around Highway 19 to help us attract new investment and services to Devon for our residents. Again, I'd like to thank everyone, past or present, that has worked hard in making this happen to protect the lives of those traveling on Highway 19. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. We now have some time for questions from the media. I don't believe there are any questions on the line, but we'll just hold it open for another few moments. Seeing no questions, thank you everyone for joining us today. Have a wonderful afternoon.